Thank you, Marilyn.
Hi.
You have joined us.
I'm sorry. I was sitting waiting at that other link, I guess, or something. I got I got a reminder saying do it here, do it this way, and it asked me to do something different. So I did, and now I'm here. I'm sorry.
Nice to meet you, Marilyn, in person.
Nice to meet you.
We've exchanged a lot of emails, so it's nice to see you here.
Yes,
and
I'm just publishing your paper.
Looking forward to your feedback for sure on today's session.
Okay. Hello, everybody. Assalamu alaikum. Sat Sri Akal, namaste. And I hope you are beautiful and you are living your life in very good fashion. And I hope in US there must be good morning there. Here it's a good night. Night is started. And I warmly welcome you into the HR WALAY virtual meet, right? And thank you, Dr. Huda, for the time and all other participants as well. Today our topic is Unlock the Mystery of Career Services. Today date is 21 June 2024 and it's 8 p.m. here in Pakistan. And my my thinking is that in virtual meet is all about revolves around power is gained by sharing knowledge, not hoarding it. And this is my belief system that brought all the people here, and I'm doing this virtual meet session through the webinar. The virtual meet HR WALAY is an innovative initiative which I've launched in April 2021, keeping in mind the market needs for virtual learning opportunities. And we all already have the world global pandemic we already have faced. And during those days, I have worked very hard to promote this career and learning initiatives. So it is one of the results from those days as well. Our aim is to provide a platform where senior professionals can share their knowledge and expertise with the audience, enabling them to learn from their comfort. अपने घर में बैठ के from their homes, from their comfort seats, from their chairs, whenever they wanted to, because it will be uploaded to YouTube portal and you can see and watch and learn whenever you want. Our virtual meet is based on interactive methodologies and the latest best practices delivered through the cutting edge virtual platform. Our expert speaker covers a range of topics that cater to the needs of professionals across industry. And that is why Dr. Huda is here, and she's an expert in her field as well. At HR WALAY Virtual Meet, we believe that learning is a continuous process, and this is my core belief and ideology. And we are committed to providing opportunities for individuals to enhance their skills and knowledge. This is very much important. It's a core belief system of HR WALAY, and I believe that yes, you can have a good job, you can earn a lot of money, but in the end, you need to enhance your skill and knowledge so that you may start the journey of your growth. Join us today and take your professional skills to the next level with HR WALAY Virtual Meet. This is we are very much easy we find out. You need to just go on Google and type HR WALAY, HRWALAY. You will be having a lot of a complete portfolio there. Our address, our phone number, our office, our location, and our portfolio as well. Whatever we have done so far, our website, and you will find our complete details. Come to today's topic. This is Unlock the Mystery of Career Services. A lot of people have a lot of questions and confusion that how we can unlock this mystery. And for today, we will be finding the answer from Dr. Hoda Kilani. And thank you so much, Dr. Hoda. You have accepted our invitation and you are here to share the knowledge. Dr. Huda is a career and academic professional coach, owner at Right Career Fit, and she is a coaching practice committed to providing top-notch career learning and career coaching services to students, parents, teachers, and community partners. That is the passion. That's why she has joined us today so that she may share knowledge that can benefit you, and the people who really wants to have a growth in their career and wanted to get connected with the right career counselor so they can easily connect with the right career fit under the supervision, the leadership of Dr. Huda Kilani, CP, Huda's expertise and deep understanding of career literacy allows her to be a vocal spokesperson for the importance of career literacy and work tirelessly to create global awareness of its value, including publishing academic articles and blogs, as well as hosting career conversation. Today is a conversation, and she's doing it. She has her own YouTube channel as well. So you can go and you can subscribe there as well. Podcasts, radio shows in English and especially in Arabic. She has a detailed work there. And this is the introduction about the speaker. Now I would be delighted to hand over this session to Mr. Huda, Miss Huda, and just a request to the people, be muted, and if you have any question, listen to the speaker, and inshallah, wish you good luck. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, MBR, for the introduction and for sharing what you do. I'm very proud of the work that you're doing, and particularly putting it out there for my work and other people's work as career development practitioners. People still don't know what we do, or they have questions about it. And so this presentation is just one way of saying, you know, this is how we help people. And I hope that's what the message that everyone gets today. I did prepare a presentation just for the fun of it, but I do want, as MBR said, the session to be interactive. So feel free to either write in the chat or just jump in. I'll try to remind you, or give you the opportunity to ask questions in between slides, because I do have something to share, but I also would like to hear your perspectives on things and get it interactive as MBR wanted it to be. So I am from Canada. I work in the western part of Canada, but I do work internationally as well. So I've presented across the globe in Dubai, Turkey, Panama, Colombia. I'm eyeing now presenting somewhere in Egypt. I don't know if that'll happen, but that's on my list of to-do things in my push to make what we do as career service people really globally known and appreciated. Because if you look at the statistics in Canada and the US, and I'm sure in other parts of the country of the world, there is that apprehension, and that it's a waste of money to use to pay for our services from the perspective of clients. And if it's free, like we have in Canada, the government funds a lot of programs, people think it's a waste of their time. So the plan is to try and change that. Unlocking the mystery of career services is just my way of showing you how I show people that, yes, you can do it, we can help you. And this is a bit of the agenda of what I hope to talk about. My work started working with young people, and that's when I started using a term called career literacy. In my mind, I'm thinking like career education needs to be a part of the school system. So ideally, it starts in kindergarten in my utopia, but at least make it a part of the education system in high school. In Canada, we don't have that. It does not exist. In the US either. Even some private schools do not have what I think of as career education, but really that process, as we all know, what career knowledge is all about, is really get to know yourself, get to know the industry you're interested in working on, and move forward in choosing the career that fits you. As adults, we probably learn that, but young people don't know that. And it takes them years. They're 30 when I meet them, and they say, why didn't anyone tell me that in high school? And so that's the mission that I work on. And that's what the agenda looks like. So the first thing I'd like to do is to get your opinion on the difference between career, work, job, and role. And please write in the chat your answer. Is there a difference, and how do you identify it to your clients or even to yourself? What is the difference between these four terms? When I work with my clients, and I will check on the chat in a bit if you would like to, start a conversation going. But not to worry, I have lots to say. So I'll start with defining why I use the word role when I work with my clients. I think because when they come to us, they think, oh, I don't want a career. I just want the next opportunity. They don't want to waste their time trying to figure out a career path or the kind of work they want to do. And so I try to reverse it. And I try to reverse it by saying, okay, let's think of the responsibilities you want to be doing. And so this image I thought was pretty cool because it shows people going to work. But I saw the light bulbs and I'm like, it's when you cross these light bulbs, that's when you're trying to think and reflect on your work. But looking at the work from the terms of the responsibilities that you do, I think we can help our clients move forward. That's in realizing what work means to them. From this perspective, I asked over 100 career practitioners, can you define the work that you do in one word? And we called it work term. Actually, when Marilyn corrected my article and edited it, I was like, why I just said, can you think of a term that defines the work that you do? But then Marilyn put work term and I was like, yes, that's what I'm trying to say. So now I'm going to be using what's the work term that defines the work that you do. And people really stumbled in it, even people who've been working in the field for a long time who are career services, and they could not define it very easily. They said they had to think about it and they need time to reflect. And I was thinking, well, as career services, we should be the one on the ball and saying, yeah, I know what I'm doing. Like I can tell. And so that's why I feel if we know what we were doing, if we can define the services that make us happy, that we are providing, all the responsibilities that we are providing, then we are clearer on what we're doing. And then we can explain it to the people who are saying, I don't know, working and paying for a career service is a waste of money and time. And this is pretty much, I think, how we unlock it. And definitely there's more to it. So if you have any comments or questions, please write them in the chat. And I came up with an idea, and which is one for the work term. I call it a hashtag. When I use the term hashtag in one of my presentations, at the end of the presentation, someone came up to me and was like, this is a number sign. I don't know why you're calling it a hashtag. And so now I made a special slide for it because I assumed, because I am on social media a lot, that everybody would know what a hashtag in today's world means. And so I feel the need to explain it. But if you know what it means, please write in the chat. I'd like to see your perspective on the meaning of the hashtag. For me, hashtag is the sign that everyone uses on social media to summarize their post, and that it just makes your post easier to find. So if I was to, the hashtag that I use and my favorite is career literacy, because I am on a mission to increase awareness about the value of the work we do and the value of having career education as part of the education system. But yes, it is not a number sign in today's world for many young people. And because I work with young people, I think I've had to move forward with the times as well. And it was the idea of one of my young clients. And I said, you know, what would be one term that you think would be the world for you? And he's like, do you mean a hashtag? I'm like, yes, I guess that's what I'm trying to say. And so, yes, so that's what the hashtag term is. And okay. So this is the question that I've asked over 100 career practitioners. If you work in the career services field and you would like to be interviewed for my program, please reach out and let me know. I would love to interview and have you add your input on this. So that's the questions that I ask for on my program. It's called Hoda's Career Info because I can't think of anything more creative when I started it back during COVID. So what is the career defining term? And I just added that, Marilyn, because it was, what is the term or hashtag that reflects your role? And I definitely would invite you to think about it today and share your hashtag in the chat section if you can think of it right away. And if not, I'm going to show you some exercises that I use with my clients to help them I find for me, having, let's say, my career literacy as my hashtag, it just helps me wake up in the morning and I think, what am I doing for it? How am I contributing to the career services field by thinking of this hashtag? It allows me to come up with creative ideas. And in today's world, this is what we want our clients to be. They need to be creative. They need to take charge of their work. They need to know what they want so they can go ahead and do it. And in Canada and the US, I know there are many organizations now who will hire you based on you telling them what you can do for them. So very cool what is happening to the young people these days is that one client saw a role that he liked half of that role, but not the other half. It's like, that's what I want to be doing. And that was cool. So we went to the organization and put a proposal. Again, that's the creativity. You need to know what you want, right? So he put a proposal saying, this is how I can help your organization. But I just want this part of this role. And sure enough, they gave him the opportunity as part-time initially, and then moved forward as full-time. And I recently interviewed Don Orlando from the US, and I liked what he said because it kind of builds on these thoughts of mine, where he said, you are hired as a problem solver. If you don't know what problem you're going to solve for the organization, they won't know why they want to hire you. So I thought that was cool. So we need our clients to be problem solvers, and they need to know what problems they want to solve. I thought that was pretty cool, the way he presented it. So why is a career term important? Why is the language we use important? If we think of Dr. Savika's work from the career construction theory, he really highlights the value of the language that we use. I love this quote because it just connects what I'm trying to say, with the hashtag to the why is it important in career. Truly important to think about ourselves and who we are, for sure, and what we want to do. But really, if we cannot formulate it in the language and put it into words that are ours, I think we cannot find the job that we want. I find that with my clients that once they can find the words to use, they can actually start to use their critical thinking, their creativity to develop a role of their dreams. And that's how I work. I work backwards. I'm like, what is the role of your dream? But let's start with the language first. If you can figure out the language that expresses what you want to do and makes you happy, then I think we can find the best job for you. Again, young people these days in North America and Europe, I found as well in Dubai, have these great opportunity that when I was in my 20s, we didn't. It was a role, you either took it or you didn't. Nowadays, there is that creativity, and also there's that entrepreneurial spirit where we see every young person has a side gig, trying to have fun with it. So we want to encourage that creativity so they can do that side gig. I mean, MBR is doing a lot of those side gigs we saw on his website. Well, he showed me his website today where he's done little things, but these are things that he enjoys putting together. And that's what we want our clients to be happy. And we can make them happy and unlock the mystery of what we do by telling them, come talk to us. We just want to talk about what you want to do. We just want to tell us what makes you happy. And that's the idea of the hashtag, where it came from. I want to share with you one career theory that really kind of builds on the value of language as well. So there's the career construction theory. If you're not familiar with it, I do encourage you to check it out. Dr. Magnuson's theory, I'm sharing it because he's from Canada and I'm Canadian. So I thought it was cool for you to hear about his work. And because his work also focuses on language, he calls it the 5 P's model, and he's written a book about it. If you'd like to check it out, I have a reference at the slides at the end. I can share the references with you, or with MBR, and he can share them with you as well. So he recommends that we start our clients with a pride moment. And I will give you more example on what that can look like. And then this pride moment, it could be something as simple as somebody said thank you to me this morning. MBR said thank you for sure, showing up. That's a pride moment because I feel I'm going and sharing my knowledge, as he likes to put it. And it can be something which I myself also always like to talk about is I got my doctorate degree in my early 50s. And that could be a pride moment. So the pride moments can be very simple, but they can be very huge depending on whatever that person we're working with is willing to share. We take that pride moment and we dissect it. Is kind of like in a lab. We just break it into different words until we pull out what really made them proud of it. So when I think of my pride moment, I can elaborate a little bit more on doctorate degree. It's because it's got more to it. I worked very hard to get there. So that was one thing, but also there was, it showed me the value of learning, lifelong learning. And I was very scared to go back. So it got me out of my comfort zone. And also I learned a lot of research and how to put things together. So there are a lot of learning moments that made me proud that I was able to accomplish it. So dissecting that, I can then look through my values. So that's part of the pride moment. But I'll give you more details on how to dissect it. And that's really the focus of the presentation, is just how to move our clients from pride to passion. And then we tell them that's what we're trying to do. I find that their faces light up. Okay, so but I do want to find a job. And we're like, yes, I know you want to find a job, but let's just focus on what makes you happy first. And I find then people are willing to work with me longer, and they're willing to give me the benefit of the doubt as a career person. So with the pride moment, once we dissect it, we start to pull out things that they're passionate about. Again, this is our Dr. Magnuson's work. And then that passion, we'll see, okay, so you like to learn and you like to share the knowledge, then that will give you the purpose. You can become a teacher if you like, but then in today's world, sharing your knowledge can happen, as MBR is doing, allowing other people to share the knowledge and he's learning from them. And then, so that's where the purpose develop as well. I also use, I don't know if you're familiar with his work, JP Michaels. Again, he's from Canada. He has what he calls challenge cards. Because I work with young people, but I've tried them on adults as well. When I was presenting in Dubai, the president of the university attended my session as he was curious. So he used the challenge cards, and he's like, he was in his 60s, like ready to retire, but he's like, I think now I got where I want to be, and I'm happy because the challenge cards confirm that. But I wish I had the challenge cards back when I was a younger person. So definitely recommend you check out challenge cards by JP Michael. What they are all about is that they give you ideas, is what do you want to take on in the world? And his approach is, the world needs you. What are you going to do about it, basically? So the challenge cards give people ideas, but once they found their passion, I find that we can use the challenge cards to build on that and help them find their purpose. And according to Dr. Magnuson, once we find our purpose, then we will be able to take action or perform. And then this performance, the more we do it, we get feedback on it, or we fail, get new challenges, we hit the point of poise. Point of poise is not really perfection, but it's really we're getting better at what we're doing. And so that will give us new pride moments to reflect on. So in his opinion, it's a continuous circle. So it's not a one-time thing that you do, but you have to continuously find new pride moments. My new pride moment is I started a podcast in Arabic, a language that I had not used for over 20 years. So imagine having to think what career development means in Arabic. That was a big challenge for me. So definitely a learning curve and a pride moment when I was able to produce the first podcast. I'm just going to read the comments in the chat, see if anyone has any questions. Okay, education is liberation. I think that reflects in your work. Probably it would be nice to tell us how it is reflecting, JJ. I was not the, okay. I loved her choice of words. Thanks, Sujata. Peaceful workplaces. Would you like to elaborate on that? I don't know, MBR, can we allow a discussion a little bit? I'm happy to, have an interaction. Yeah.
Please go ahead.
Would you like to elaborate on your word, Sujata, sure. Peaceful workplaces?
Thanks. So I feel like the teacher has called on me.
The look on your face, I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. Beautiful presentation by Sid. Great job as usual. Yes, peaceful, the word peaceful encompasses, to me, it encompasses a great deal of things, but I can sum it up into 3 levels. I think that when we enter our context, such as the workplace, as an individual, first level, second level, as part of a team, and third level, as part of an organization, I think that we will be on the right track. That awareness and intention can really create effective communication, conflict resolution, personal satisfaction. It can encompass the company mission, values. So I'll put a pause there. What do you think, teacher?
I think you did an excellent job. And I think I know you did an excellent job, because that's what we want our clients to be doing, right? We want them to know what that word means to them. But first, they need to kind of say, okay, what do I want to be doing? And then kind of by building on that, it just reminds us to continue this every morning when we wake up. And I think to be driven to passion about our work. I'm going to call the others, but after the next slide, this way we continue to build. And so this is what I work with my clients, is the one thing you are proudest of accomplishing. Again, taking you back to that pride moment. That would be a good question to get started with clients, is what's the one thing you're proudest of accomplishing? And again, if they get stuck, I always allow them to say, well, my mom said I did a great job this morning, or the teacher called on me and I did a great job, so I was proud of myself. And so definitely a great conversation started, particularly with young people. I'm going to look at the next comment, next hashtag that popped up. Okay, MBR, you were next, and you had a couple. Which one would you like to work on? I think it said lifelong learning. You want to tell us what lifelong learning means to you?
Lifelong learning, and thank you so much for that. I'm very much passionate about, because that is something which is everybody should you should work upon. Lifelong learning is a beautiful natural gift which has already been gifted to every human by the nature. But what we need to do is we just need to reflect and concentrate, means focus, to activate these gifts, this gift of lifelong learning. You need to convince yourself every day. You need to learn a new thing to develop your growth. And because of this is the tiny stones, the productive stones, which will contribute every second to achieve your 10 years goal. So I love this, the concept of nature, and I'm following this since decade, and it has a miraculous results. And that is the reason HR WALAY is being formed. And my passion was to work always on research-based career practitioner. So I love it. I become it, and I'm proud of it.
I love how you said I become it. And that's what I'm hoping when we work with clients, is if they can choose a word and they feel I am it, like it really drives you to work every morning. So this is, if you've ever taught English or taken writing lessons, you will remember the 5 W's that we had to figure out as we wrote our essays. And definitely I use that also with my clients, taking that pride moment, again, no matter how big or small it is, and give them the opportunity to fill out the 5 W's of it. So I presented last month for career services professionals in Alberta, and one guy he helps students figure out their way around university and the courses they want to choose. So he was like, okay, I'm just going to say I'm proud of the accomplishment of hiking. And so he put hiking as his proud moment. And then when I said, okay, now get the 5 W's of hiking, and by the end, he's like, I'm looking at hiking from a different perspective right now. I didn't realize how important it is to me and why I love it. So definitely take a snapshot of this and try to do it on your own, and let me back with some feedback on what you think of this. I'm just going to look up the next hashtag. Marilyn, do you have time? I know you said you had wanted to leave early. Career satisfaction across cultures. I love that. And I saw you at the conference. Please go ahead.
I had to put in the cross-cultural part because I'm working with the Asia Pacific Career Development Association, and it's so satisfying to help people in many different cultures to find career satisfaction. I mean, career satisfaction, of course, has been my hashtag for 50 years now, but adding on the international part has just been very satisfying.
And that shows like a reflection again that we need to encourage our client is that you don't do it once, but you keep adding to it or perhaps changing even entirely. One lady did that. Like when I interviewed her, she gave me one, and then a year later, she sent me an email saying, "Guess what? I changed mine." And so that constant reflection is important, and that's something, of course, we need to continue with our client. I attended the APCDA conference for the first time this year. I'm going to become a regular. It was a great experience, by the way. So that's my 5 W's in case you're interested. I do revisit it on a regular basis as well, but the when is always when do you get started? When, for me, that's how I responded to it, but others would be, when do I feel like excited about this word? It can, so I always stress is that it's your word, it's your way of defining it. Definitely reminding my clients is that you need to know who you are, you need to know what you want so that you can move forward. And in unlocking the mystery of career services to our clients, again, I feel if we know what we're confident in sharing what we want, then we can bring them over and say, you can become passionate as I am about the work I do. Let me show you how. So that's my definition of career education. We need 3 knowledges, and we need our young people to develop that. And that is always my focus in supporting my clients. Okay, knowledge of self, I'm sure you all know that. And industry, when I think of it, we call it in North America labor market information. I don't know if this is across all cultures, but really knowing the industry you want to work in, because this is so important, because if they know the industry, I feel they know what roles they want to do and they can get creative with the roles. Again, in today's world, they can create their own new roles. Like right now, I have a social media manager. I have a lady who was like, when she came to me, UX designer. I'm like, what is that? It's like, I can help you. And it turned out to be a user experience designer for the website, which I was like, there's only a website creator. So many opportunities for these young people. And for us, if we continue our lifelong learning and we're interested in a new role, but our older clients as well. In the middle, I put career language because there is definitely a lack of knowledge about the words that we use. What does a resume mean? What does a CV mean? What is a cover letter? And why is it important? And but there's also other things that they need to develop, other knowledges, and these knowledges would include the how to interview and how to talk when you're networking, how to network, and I had a third one, I forgot it now. But yeah, so definitely there's career language, and career education needs to be part of the education system because it's so loaded with things that we as an adults learned through experience, but even some adults don't know. The value of sending a thank you note to someone who interviewed you. That I feel is career language knowledge as well. Because if we thank, as we all know, that some thank you that can be the defining moment, whether you get the job or someone else. We just check if there are more hashtags. JJ, you work with university students. That's very cool under occupation. I congratulate you on that. Okay, and again, with those three knowledges in mind, we need to give our clients that intentionality. And how do we do that? We do that through the hashtag. We do that through allowing them the responsibilities they want to take on. It's like at home, if you have kids, you say, what do you want to do as part of the chores at home? And one child would like making the beds only, the other one would like shining the shoes, the other one is doing the laundry. And so we are asking them to find a moment that they are lost in time, and that will give them the intentionality to wake up in the morning. It's like, I want to do this again. I would appreciate your ideas on how to you get your clients excited about the work that they do. What ideas do you give them and what tips? And we can read them at the end together as well. I created what I call Discover Your Bevy. Bevy stands for belief, experience, ability, value, and interest. And this is what it looks like. We take the pride moment, and I ask my clients to say, now dissect it. Remember, I talked about dissecting that pride moment and to get it to lead to purpose. So there's beliefs, experiences, abilities, values, and interest, and I call it Discover Your Bevy. The focus is always not on the definition of belief, because what might be a belief to me can be a value to someone else. So it's all about filling it up or really reflecting on it. And I've had clients who've created videos, like short TikTok videos, to respond to this. So I'm not very stuck up on filling up the chart either, but on having a discussion on what that pride moment means to you and how does it reflect your experiences, your abilities, and so on. One young client also wrote a poem about it. So very cool what people can come up when you allow them the creativity to take something and do it their way. Many people don't learn that in school, and so I feel by allowing them this opportunity to be creative, we'd be surprised with what they come up with. But so these are some examples of people I interviewed. Ed Hidalgo is very famous in the US for his use of the RIASAC, Holland's theory, if you're familiar with it. And he's like on a mission saying, no longer can we wait until students get to high school to explore career path. You can tell why I'm good friends with him, because we share the same mission pretty much. And then when we said, okay, so what's your word, Ed? It was agency. So he is want to make sure every child who finishes high school, and that's in the States, becomes an agent for themselves, so they can take charge of their career. You can look him up. His work is, I think, is amazing. But you're familiar with Tristram Hooley. I think a lot of you are, and his term was career. You look at his writings and everything he does. It was not surprising that his term was career. Gary Bowles, his dad wrote the What Colors Your Parachute, and he's continued his dad's work. And unrelenting curiosity was his word, which I think ties up on lifelong learning as well. So that's one thing. After we do the pride moment, I will definitely ask my clients, what's the one thing you learned about yourself today? So every session, at the end of the session, I remind them of the value of the time they spent with me, rather than say, just, do you have any questions? I say, what did you learn about yourself today? So I encourage them to reflect on that. And this reflection makes them want to come back and do more career service sessions. So allowing our clients to take charge of the session first, I think we all ask that question, is how can I help you today at the beginning of our sessions? But at the end also, did you feel you got what you wanted? But also, what did you learn about yourself? Adding that question, I feel, is key to let them be excited about working with us as career service people. But if you have any ideas on how do you get your clients engaged, I'd love to see them in the chat. I want to share with you the work of Bella Doswell and Catherine Jenick. If you're not familiar with her work, definitely reach out to Bella. Is their media person. Catherine is not so much, but they created this hashtag so much more than talking about jobs. So it's a very long hashtag. And I wanted to share it because if you get a client whose hashtag is like 4 or 5 words, it's okay. Jenna and Catherine, Bella and Catherine started this hashtag during COVID, and it was just a fun thing for them because, again, they're very frustrated that people don't know what we do and ask your services people, and they need to talk about it. So they created a T-shirt, and they even are celebrating anniversaries with their hashtag. So people can get very creative with their hashtag. Again, from Dr. Chris Magnuson, the 5 Ps model. This is how he does it. He works with students in British Columbia. That's how he encourages them. What do you care about? And then every day in your life. So wake it up every morning and say, am I exercising that muscle? Just like a workout. So it really simplifies things for young people and gets them excited about it. Again, I would love your input on intentionality. How do you get your clients to become intentional about the work that you're doing? We talk about lifelong learning, we talk about regular self-reflection, but I feel that if we encourage them to take that pride moment, dream some things like I want to build on that pride moment, I feel that gives them the purpose to say, this is what I want to be doing today and for the next little while anyway. We have goals, of course. I encourage them to create goals, but definitely for me, goals are not written in stone. So people can play around with them because I do also follow the chaos theory of careers that allows you to take opportunities as they come by Dr. Jim Bright and Dr. Pryor. And if you do take that hashtag that you shared with me today, I guarantee you that your attitude, your motivation, and commitment will double up if you check on it every morning. What am I doing for my hashtag today? So that was my presentation. Thank you so much for being here and for listening. I am always available on many social media places. You can reach out to me, and I would love to connect with you and have a chat if interested. Thank you, MBR, for this opportunity.
Thank you so much, and it was a lovely session. Quite a couple of points was very much insightful as well. The way you are implementing that 5 Ps model is very much good, and hashtag motivated me a lot. I wanted to create a hashtag for me as well. And thank you, JJ, for joining, Shami, Sujata, Doctor, and Marlene, those who have joined. JJ, I would like to request you to please share your complete name because we issue the certificate of participation as well. It would be highly obliged if you could share your complete name. We will be sending you email. So, is there anything, any question from Dr. Sujata and JJ to Huda?
Sure. Hoda, it's just a beautiful presentation, such pearls of wisdom here. So, yes, I would like to connect with you sometime after the NCDA conference. So, because that's coming up next week. But my question is this. Last night, ABCDA had their annual membership meeting. And one of the things that came out in that meeting was the cultural aspect of career development and exploration. So, for example, for me, my parents actually chose my college major. So, how can we help clients to balance their purpose to passion, but with this cultural aspect of expectations from their cultural family?
I love that question, and it's definitely an important question, even in North America, not just everywhere else. And I will give you an example of me and my son. I am from a Lebanese origin, so I definitely get your parents choosing your your job for you, because I wanted my kids to become. I have two boys, doctors or engineers or lawyers. The drill. And so my older son became an engineer, so he chose the path that I want for him. But there was flexibility in what kind of engineering he wanted to do. But the younger son was like, "No, mom," and even his teachers in Canada and school counselors, they said, "Oh, you're good in everything. Why don't you become a doctor?" And he's like, "No, no, I just want to study economics." Can you imagine what I was thinking? And the way I did it with my son, and now I encourage a lot of my clients to do it, especially when the parents bring their children in, is write me a proposal. What are you going to do with that degree? And definitely he wanted to study in the US, something which my husband and I were like, why would you? The Canadian, for us as Canadians, it's really quarter the price of what the US. Write me a proposal. Tell me why you want to do this and what's your vision for the future. Sure enough, he wrote a proposal. In the proposal, he said, I'll pay you back when I'm done in installments. Definitely we let him go to the States, and had to take a loan and all that. But we allowed him to have that opportunity because he believed in it. He was able to verbalize it. And that's what I teach my clients to do, is that I can assure you, if you can convince your parents that you know what you're doing, they're going to let you do it. And it works every time. There was this young lady who wanted to study music. Again, her parents were from India, but they live in Canada. And she's like, what is she going to do with a music degree? There's definitely that opportunity for a proposal. Parents want the best for their children, I find. And if they can show them, I know what I'm doing. These are this is my fallback. This is what I'm going to do. Most time they say they agree. I hope that answers your questions, Jenna. Well, thank you so much, MBR, for this. I think there's the four of us. JJ, do you have any questions? I know the students you're working with, oh my God, that's a challenging situation. How do you support them? You can type it in. I know you said you can't speak, but if you can give us an idea of how do you support, when we think of different cultures, also different circumstances, right? Socioeconomic circumstances as well. And then under occupation, particularly these days. Are you want to read her response, or do you want me to do it? Oh, no response from TJ. No, not to worry, TJ. But yes, I like to think that what I share can be done everywhere, because it's about reflecting, right? And it's about putting yourself out there and trying to fit in an opportunity to learn whenever you can and build your knowledge, similar to what MBR shared, and about lifelong learning. It gives us the opportunity to take our knowledge to the next level and take on new challenges and step out of comfort zone, regardless, I think, of our situation.
Great, it was wonderful, and thank you so much for your time, and for JJ, and other participants, and those who are connected. There are 2 or 3 participants connected via YouTube. So I would like to thank you so much. This video will be uploaded on YouTube channel, and for future references, if you wanted to listen to it, so let me share it with you how it goes. This is the YouTube channel. It's HR WALAY and HR family. You go there, and then you will click playlist option. There you will find the playlist name Virtual Meet. Here it is. This Virtual Meet, when you click it up, then the most recent would be Dr. Huda's video. There you will find the video like this here, and this video will be reflecting here. You can see it because it will be marketing. Last video got 1,000, 2,000 likes and views. So inshallah, you will be having this video for a future reference, I will be sharing this as well, so that the learning can be prospered. Once again, finally, the HR WALAY virtual meet. Thank you so much, all of you.
Yes, thank you for staying and attending, both Fatiji
Bye.
and Dr. Sujata. Have a good day or evening.